Hello and welcome to Chanjal's World. Today I'm going to tell you about an Indian folk art which is world famous. That is Madhubani art. Madhubani art is a beautiful Indian folk art form which was developed or originated in the Mithila region of Bihar. As it was originated in the Mithila region, Madhubani art is also known as Mithila painting. In the earlier days, women of the area used to do this kind of painting on the walls and such using twigs, fingers, and the mediums they could find during that time. But as time changed, their techniques and their point of views evolved into using things like nib pens, gel pens, and such for doing this art. Well, Madhubani art is actually a two-dimensional imagery, and in the earlier days, the colors were not as freely available as the synthetic colors we get now. So they used to, like make natural dyes from the plants and the natural elements around. In the earlier days, there was a very huge preferences for the caste system in India, and so Madhubani art was also done according to the castes. Like for example, the upper caste women used to, do Bharni and Tantric style of Madhubani art, where the rest were done by the other lower caste women of the society. In Bharni and Tantric, basically they did not use much colors and they filled up their subjects with pattern, and they chose subjects like goddesses and divine subjects which were prohibited by the lower caste women to be even trying to draw. Well, as time has gone, caste system has been completely rejected by the society, and so Madhubani art does not have this division anymore because there are combinations of all the styles and subjects used, which is interchanging among themselves, and finally making Madhubani art as one kind of art which combines all styles and techniques used. In Madhubani art, bright contrasts are given very importance, and it's usually like the background is never left alone. And if you actually look into Madhubani art, there is no realism in it, but yet there is clarity in your drawing, which means if there is a starting line, there would be an ending line to it. In realistic painting, there is something called blending, smudging. That doesn't happen in Madhubani art. Every single line, every single subject you draw to describe the Madhubani art subject should be clear. So that is one very important feature of Madhubani art. So now I will also tell you the mediums you need to use to do a final Madhubani art. Well, first let's start with the papers. If at all you use a simple A4 size paper, it would be very difficult to basically, frame it. As you can see, it is not very strong. So hardness of the paper is very important, inclusive of the smoothness as well. So I would definitely recommend a GSM paper. This is a GSM A4 size paper. You can see it is not as thin or it is not as flexible as a normal sheet. So when you do a Madhubani art in this paper, it would stand still and you will be able to frame it and the picture will look absolutely amazing. There is another reason I am recommending this paper is because of the colors or the medium of colors you would use in Madhubani art. Of course, you have a choice of not using colors and only doing the subject with the patterns, but if in case you're using colors, this paper would be the best for being recommended. The colors you can use poster colors, you can use acrylic colors, you can use watercolors, you can use brush pen. The only requisite is that the color should come on the paper, irrespective of what medium you use. Considering that factor as well, the GSM paper is the best I would recommend, as water paper, is well managed in this paper, and acrylic paints will not end up being glossy in this paper. If you choose a normal paper, acrylic paints can give you a more plasticky effect, and so the realism or the beauty in your painting goes. But if at all you choose this paper, that is GSM paper, you can get the matte finished look. You can get the perfection you are looking for in your painting. And now about the variations in GSM paper. The GSM paper varies from 150 and above. This is a GSM 300 paper. You can definitely use a GSM 150 paper, but my recommendation would be GSM 300, so that the quality is absolutely balanced. The better the number, the higher the number, the better it is. Now, for the practice sake of it, you don't need to use this painting. After you have finished learning Madhubani art, you can use GSM paper to make an official, painting, so that you can frame it later on. For the practice sake of it, definitely you can use a normal A4 size sheet paper. Okay, now about the drawing part. Drawing part is the most important in Madhubani art. In Madhubani art, you should have confident strokes of lines to basically have your picture look very good. You cannot have 2 or 3 lines or non-confident lines, because your Madhubani art will end up looking very vague and not beautiful at all. So you need a medium where the line comes in just the first stroke. You cannot draw over the line again, because if you do, the whole picture gets ruined. So for this purpose, there is a traditional instrument called nib pens, which is used in Madhubani art. If you want to go in for the traditional style of drawing Madhubani art, you can get this set of nibs from any art supplying stores or online stores. For a nib pen, you need to make an ink, which I will be telling you later. If you don't want to take in the effort of making all this, you can definitely go into the modern style of using a black gel pen. Over here, I have used these series of pens. If you can see, there are different numbers written on the pen. This is for, these are the different nib sizes you can use for different kind of arts. I basically use this. This is 0.8. This is the thickest nib in the set I got. I use this for drawing, and 0.05 is the thinnest pen I have in the set. So I use this for filling up patterns, and I also use a brush pen so that I can fill in the colors in case if I need a very dramatic effect. Again, nib pens come in different nib sizes, so it's like buying the series of pen. You can get nibs of different sizes. Now, in case if you are selecting a nib pen, then you need to make the ink for it, which I will tell you how to do. You need to mix in 3 portions of acrylic paints and 1 portion of water. I would recommend you to use a black acrylic paint, because black pen drawings would look the best if at all your background is white. So mix in 3 portions of acrylic black paint and 1 portion of water. You can store this ink in a bottle and use it whenever you want to use it. So that is done with the introduction of Madhubani art, telling you what all you require, as in paints or pen or paper whenever you do a Madhubani art after learning it. So now let's get into the first thing. As I've said before, steady drawing or steady strokes are absolutely important in Madhubani art. So before you even start learning Madhubani art, there are certain practices of lines you need to do, so that when you draw Madhubani art, you get a confident stroke and you can do your drawing in a single line. So first of all, the first set of practice you need to do is horizontal straight lines. You need to practice this minimum 100 times, 50 to 100 times, or at least till your hand becomes steady. Till your hand becomes steady, you have to practice doing this straight line. You should do it in one stroke and you shouldn't wiggle or stop in the middle. So once you're confident with it, we will go into the next set of line, that is vertical lines. You have slanting lines. These are the straight lines that you need to practice, that is horizontal, vertical, slanting. Next, we will go on to wavy lines. These are a set of single lines that you need to practice before going to the next set of practice. There are two sets of practice that you need to do in Madhubani art so that your hands and wrists get ready for the intricate detailing that you will be doing in your art. In Madhubani art, no matter how small your subject is or no matter how big your subject is, you have to fill it with intricate, clear detailing, for which these practices are going to help you a lot. So please make sure to practice this minimum 50 to 100 times or till your hands are steady and confident enough to draw these. The next set of practice that you need to do after practicing these single line sets are double line sets. Double lines play the most crucial role in Madhubani art. So you need to practice these double lines because every main feature of the subject you do in Madhubani art must have a double line. That is an non-separatable feature of Madhubani art. So for doing double lines, you should be confident, your wrist should be flexible. So after you practice the single set of lines, you need to do the practice of the next set of double lines that I'm going to show you. These are the set of practices that you need to do before doing Madhubani art. This first set is for your hands to be flexible enough to make confident strokes, because once you've practiced this would be easier for you. Double lines are not as simple as it seems. So once you have done this practice, you need to do this practice again 50 to 100 times or till your hands become steady enough to do a double line perfectly and confidently. So today I will leave it here, asking you to practice these two sets till your wrist becomes flexible enough to confidently draw single and double lines confidently, and so that it'll be easier for you to try and draw Madhubani art. So in my next class, I will show you how to make beautiful borders in Madhubani art. Borders play a very important role in Madhubani art as it highlights the entire picture. The reason why I'm starting with borders is because borders can be made very simple, and so I can start showing you or teaching you from the simplicity of Madhubani art than directly going into the complicated versions. So I hope you would practice this and be ready for the next video.